What's up guys, welcome back to another episode. I have just finished work, heading over to a mate's place, or a mate's brother's place. He's got a motor for me that he was going to put into his project car, but the project car is not ready for a motor yet, so he's going to do me a bit of a deal on one, or on that motor. It has been painted already in Chevrolet orange, so a bright orange. Not going to suit, well it's cool, but not going to suit what I need or suit my colour combo. So what I'm going to do is rub that back a bit, or flick some fresh paint over the top of it. I'll probably just go silver or an aluminium colour over the top. Then it will be time to take the sump off, start swapping some bits over. When I've got the sump off, I'll put that on the old block as a bit of a test fit or a mock-up to see if I can use a unmodified sump. While I've got the old motor there, or the old block there, perfect opportunity to slap that on and then just make sure everything's going to fit. If there's going to be any modifications to the sump, I'll know then before I get too carried away. I will also need to do the turbo drains in there as well, so while that's all off, it'll be the perfect opportunity for it. Anyway, let's get over there, get this motor, and get it back to the shop. Here she is, the new motor in, well, it's in Chevrolet orange at the moment, but I will fix that. Let's get it off.
You know I came in and flux and I'm actually awesome. I can't let them get in my way. This grand is old like the Opry and Meyer. The sauces I need to go get them a break. You know I'm strapped at 10, spinning like rims. Baby, don't get in my face. I don't like playing pretend.
Let's get it on the stand. First thing I'm going to do is flip it, take this sump off, and then I can use the old block as a bit of a test fit to make sure this sump will work, or if I have to cut it. I've got to do some other mods for turbo drains anyway, but that'll be the first thing to do, and then paint it. Sump is off and in the parts washer. Give everything a bit of a clean down.
Sign on bet till they devastated. Got no time to relax if you hesitate. Heaven knows I read the neon letters on the globe and believe it. I'm feeling conceited. Fill up the tank, got me a check.
We've got the intake ports all masked up. I'm going to give them a bit of a trim around. I can always sand them back if I have to, but I don't want paint getting in there. We'll do that next. Time for some paint.
Can't tell me nothing. Who would've guessed? We can make it the way that we want it. Who would've guessed? I could wake up to this in the morning.
Mainly only focusing on the head and block covers. I've got mine still, I'll swap them over. Oil pump, timing chain cover. Got my own, I'll reuse. Balancer, I'll probably just sand it back. So yeah, a few more coats should be good.
They think I'm lucky. We ain't no kind of kin, but that's my cousin. 10-piece spicy, my wings, that's 10 toes down on the floor, can't tell me nothing.
Back at home now, I've got the sump here. I've got the old motor there on the stand. I'll put the sump on there. I'll have a look at a few bits and pieces and see what's salvageable as well. Check the oil pump out and a few other bits, and then we'll test fit this block with the new engine mount spacers. Got the heads off now, so I can have a bit of a look at what's going on here. This bore in there has cracked, and the top of, not that piston, but that piston has cracked as well. So it's made a proper mess. I don't know what's going to be salvageable. I'll probably be able to keep the valve springs because they're upgraded. I'll have to get the puller from work, pull the balancer off, have a look at that oil pump and whatnot. I've got the oil pump off, and I've got the cover off as well. So I've got the balancer off there too. And I'm trying to get this out to have a bit of a look and see. It's a bit goopy in there, but it doesn't look like there's any chunks of metal anywhere. I'll give it a bit of a wash down and check all the edges, and it all feels quite sharp. I'll inspect all of it, make sure no metal's gone through and busted anything up, and hopefully it's good to use. Now that I've checked out the oil pump and I've had a look at the timing chain looks fine, oil pump looks fine. I've made up my proper spacers. They're a little bit hairy going around the edge there. I've made it from some scrap, but no one's ever going to see it, except for everyone who watches this video, of course, but don't tell anyone. So I'm going to stick that there. I'm going to put that one the right way around in there, and it locates and it's all fine. Before I had a slot here, so that could essentially slide out if it ever backed off or went loose or tilted or whatever. Not going to happen this time, so I will go ahead and lift this up, drop it in, see how it fits. I might need to move these hoses, but the whole idea is to check starter motor clearance and clearance on the cross member. Alright, so I've got the car jacked up here so that I can get under and have a bit of a look for clearance. Motor is suspended, so let's get this sucker in. Got it in there, finally. Took a lot longer and it was a lot harder than I thought. That's what she said. But pretty confident I've got enough clearance. I'll jump under there tomorrow morning probably because it's night time now and it's starting to rain. I'll get the crane out of the way, jump under there, check clearance on the cross member. So far it looks good. I will then get the starter motor, which is down here. Make sure that is going to fit as well. Which there's no real reason it shouldn't, because it fit before with all the same spacing and everything. And then it'll be time to yank that back out, knowing that it's going to go back in. Well, not that one, but the new one is going to go back in, confident that everything will fit, confident that it's going to have the right spacing, confident that it's going to have clearance. And once I've got that out, I'll be able to move on to plugging up some of these holes. A few more final touches in the engine bay, like chassis black and bits and pieces. And then get the new motor ready to go in.